Hi, everyone, and welcome to part three. I'm very, very excited for all of this. I love these episodes because, when I review my episodes I've already created, it brings up more awareness. Oh, let me make sure I've got the full screen for you. Oh, I gotta love it, don't you? That's better. That looks much better. Now, again, this beautiful quote: I embrace a growth mindset which allows me to remain open to new ideas and perspectives. This openness does not mean I must accept every opinion, but rather that I'm willing to consider them as opportunities for reflection and potential change. Now, episode 163. You don't have to be gifted to be connected. Now, so many people say psychic abilities, etc., are gifts. No, every single person actually has these abilities. So, innate intuition exists in everyone. Intuitive skills are not gifts, but natural faculties that vary by individual, such as hearing messages, feeling sensations, or physical reaction. This inclusivity helps reduce feelings of inadequacy because you let go of thinking that you don't have these and it's a gift and only certain people have them because everybody has them. Connection is about awareness, not perfection. Spiritual connection is framed as an awareness or returning to a state of being, not a level of spiritual attainment. And it helps you overcome shame and self-doubt. And this is something that happens a lot in the so-called spirituality world. There are certain levels that you must attain. No, there is no such thing. Spirituality is not like primary school, high school, university. It's not like levels. It is whatever works for you. That's why it's all about being connected. And feeling blocked, because there's no such thing, is a part of the process. You may experience periods of disconnection, which is not block, or doubt, and it doesn't equate to failure or lack of intuition. It's a normal step in learning how to trust and interpret intuition. You may, you may connect to your body and your intuition. Something happens in life and you disconnect. That is okay. That is okay. All you need to do is just go back to learning to reconnect. And it gets quicker and quicker, and it gets to the point where you don't disconnect because you don't need to. You learn other methods that you're not affected by other people most of the time. It can still happen. Now, episode 169, your inner child in the sacral chakra. This is your inner child, not your business. Your business has its own inner child. And honesty fosters authenticity. The inner child demands honesty, which encourages us to confront areas where we may be withholding truth from ourselves or even others. And this improves emotional health. The inner child signals problems in the business. Rather than leading business decisions, the inner child alerts us when something is off, such as poor communication or lost passion. Think about you might jump on a line, you might jump on a call with a potential client, and the communication just doesn't seem to be happening. There is something that your inner child wants you to know. So, as I said, your inner child does not lead the business. It's not part of the business. It is part of you, though, and it helps you understand yourself as a business person. And boundaries protect emotional balance. Establishing clear boundaries help manage the intensity of the inner child's needs, promoting stability and self-care. Now, I don't need to say it anymore. When I'm working on my business, my inner child is actually playing with the business's inner child. They do that automatically now because I have constantly reminded them they are not part of their business. They get to have fun. I mean, I still have fun in my business. They get to have fun apart from the business. And it's so cool. So I'm recording this. I'm operating on my business. And right now I can see my inner child and my business's inner child playing in the sandpit. Now, they come through at different ages, at different times, depending on what is coming up and where it actually was in my childhood. Now, feeling weird around people. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? Sensitivity as a strength. Sensitivity allows you to pick up subtle energy shifts, which can inform your intuition and improve interpersonal interactions, especially in the professional or emotional settings. Now, I'm not talking about being sensitive as such, like someone says something and you literally just cry. What I'm talking about is that you're connected to your body. So your body picks up signals, and it is really, really cool. That's what I mean by being sensitive. It's the senses. Now, energetic responsibility. It is important to recognize what energy is yours versus others to prevent energetic fatigue and emotional burnout. If something happens, like I might get a pain in the head, I will automatically ask, most of the time it's automatic, is this mine? And I pause for a sec, or is this someone else's? If I say, is this mine, and it doesn't reduce in intensity or whatever, I know it's mine. And even when I say, is this someone else's, the intensity won't reduce. If I say, is this mine, and it reduces, no, actually, sorry, it's the opposite. um, if I, what is it for me? Oh, if it's mine, it stays there. It doesn't reduce. If it's somebody else's, it reduces, and then I know how to access it. I got mixed up there. Got to laugh. You can see I don't edit anything because I don't care. I want you to see this is reality for me. Again, I ask the question, is it mine? The intensity doesn't reduce. I know it's not mine. If the intensity reduces, it is mine, and I need to look at it. And then energetic boundaries. Creating clear energetic boundaries helps maintain compassion without absorbing others' stress, which is critical for healers, entrepreneurs, or anyone in the caring roles. Now, what that means for me is that I can tune into somebody. I can feel what they're feeling. So if they're having an like not asthma attack, but if they, something's happening, I can feel it. I don't take it on though. And as soon as I've talked about what is happening, it disappears for me. That has been a lot of work for me to be able to do that, to tune into someone and go, okay, there's a pain in their elbow. I tune in, what does that mean? And I talk about it and then move on to the next. The pain in my elbow disappears immediately because I've had consistent energetic boundaries. And I keep asking my guides and anyone that works with me to help me with that as well, because I love working with my guides and angels and archangels and anyone that's out there of the light, because of course there are people out there that are not of the light, and that's just a part of it. Now, what are the signs that you are waking up? So, disconnection as growth. Feeling detached from previous attachments or routines is a natural part of spiritual growth, indicating that one's values and needs are evolving. It's not rejection, but realignment. And that's okay. I've actually detached from a lot of friendships because I woke up and I realized that it was one way and they were taking and taking and taking and they were getting everything and I was getting nothing. So I've let go of a lot of friendships. And guess what? I am so much better off. Life is better. Self-tuning over external validation. So, awakening requires unlearning conditional behaviors of external seeking, parents, teachers, bosses, and prioritizing internal guidance, which can be challenging, but oh man, it's rewarding. And no pressure for immediate answers. The awakening process invites curiosity and patience, not anxiety for quick solutions, which allows revelations to unfold naturally. Now, episode 172 was boundaries in the sacral chakra. Boundaries is one of my topics I will talk about forever because it's so important in life. The sacral chakra governs emotions and adaptability amongst two of them. There's many, many other things. Now, it's positioned above the root chakra. It is not a physical thing like an organ, it's an energetic thing. And it supports emotional processing and flexibility, which is crucial for maintaining those healthy boundaries in relationships and business. And of course, boundaries evolve with growth. As your business or personal life changes, your boundaries must adapt too, which reflects your current needs and experiences rather than remaining static. For me, my boundaries are like a fence with a gate, and the fence is flexible so it can actually expand or contract as needed. Like I've now moved in and I'm renting a room in a friend's house. It means my boundaries have changed. That's part of it. And the chakra health influences communication. Effective communication stems from energetic alignment in the lower chakras, allowing messaging to be clear, authentic, and emotionally resonant. Now, the lower chakras are your root, sacral, and solar plexus. They are the ones that are more physical related. And when you're grounded there, communication starts there and moves up before it comes out through your throat or your fingers if you type or whatever, whichever way it comes out. If your lower chakras are not working as well as they should, then your messaging won't be as clear as it can be. Now, how do you create a simple spiritual practice? As I've talked about before, spirituality is a subjective and flexible. And the concept means different things for different people, and there's no one right way to practice. This hopefully relieves the pressure and encourages authenticity. Now, the thing I like, it's called habit stacking, and it creates ease. Linking spiritual practice with established habits reduces resistance and builds a sustainable routine. So as maybe you're brushing your teeth, bring in a spirituality practice, whatever it is for you. As you're brushing your teeth, you might bring in maybe affirmations. That can be a spiritual practice. You might look in the mirror as you're brushing your teeth and going, I love my eyes, I love my eyes, I love my eyes. Because affirmations, if they are too far out of the realm, you're never going to believe them. It is not going to be possible. If you don't like your body and you use an affirmation, I love my body, you're not going to believe it. You've got to have affirmations that are relatable, that are there now. And then eventually you extend and extend and extend so that you end up believing like you love your body or whatever it is. And the practice evolves with you. As your energy and life change, your spiritual practice should adapt, allowing for growth without guilt over pausing or shifting direction. And the business's inner child in the solar plexus chakra, because as I said, your business has its own energy and it's got its own inner child. Chakras as energetic foundations, as I've said, the energy. And viewing your business through the lens of chakras helps see it as a living energetic entity that requires attention, not just practically, but energetically. And the business's inner child concept. Thinking of a business as having an inner child humanizes it, making it easier to nurture and respond to its needs intuitively and strategically. For me, I knew I needed to get the podcast done for the whole year. And wow, was it powerful. It has made such a difference because now I've got those done. That's something I don't have to do because of what has actually happened. I didn't have the energy to do a podcast. So I'm glad I got all of those recorded and actually scheduled out. They're already scheduled on YouTube and on what I use, which is called Podcastle, and that's then sent out to all the audio platforms. That was something because I spoke to my business continually. That's what it told me I needed to do, as well as my intuition. And now, I know that things are going to change again. That's why today I needed to go out and get things so I can put down all of the tasks I need to do to move forward and get that done. This is all about talking to the business's energy and the inner child and setting boundaries. Just like children, the business's inner child requires boundaries to feel safe, prevent overwhelm, and focus on actionable growth steps. And also not to allow the inner child, the business's inner child, to come in and try and work in the business because that can happen. Now, energetic protection without fear or drama. And when I first started working with my gifts and everything, there was so much fear around protecting myself because, this could happen or that could happen or this or, oh my goodness. I look back and I'm like, far out. So, energy management is about support, not defense. Viewing energy protection as support helps reduce the fear and the drama, making it a more positive and manageable practice. Now, overwhelm doesn't always mean negative energy. Often, feeling drained means your body is processing more stimuli than usual, especially in emotionally intense settings. Now, this normalizes the experience and removes that unnecessary fear. And setting clear boundaries is self-care, not rejection. Saying no firmly and kindly protects your energy without guilt or drama, fostering healthier relationships with others and yourself. So, energy protection, it could be that you put a bubble around yourself that allows everything of love, because light is love, love is light. It's the one thing, it's not two. It allows all of that to come in, all of the healthy stuff to come in, and all what's called negative, underlying, whatever you want to call it, all of that bounces off. Now, I imagine that bubble and the things bouncing off into the universe. So all of my guides can actually take that and transmute it to love. I never send anything back to the person. I feel that is so wrong. That's my belief. Think about if you have a arrow in whatever the thing is that you use to have the arrow. I had it for a minute. You use that, you shoot the arrow towards somebody, and then they throw it back at you. Guess what? You're going to be harmed, not them. So just think about that. Now, what do you do when your old life doesn't fit anymore? This is what happens when you become really aware, you start growing, you start letting go of outdated stuff. Your old life can, struggle a little bit. Now, redefine relationships because it's a part of growth. Some friendships or connections may no longer align with who you are becoming. And it's healthy to let go or set boundaries to create space for supportive relationships. Sometimes you need to let go, and that's okay. When it comes to family, of course, you need to do what is right for you, not what people tell you you should do. Like I could say, if your family's causing you huge problems, don't talk to them. That's not for me to say. That is for you to do. Now, grief accompanies endings. So, leaving long held roles or identities, such as a career, triggers grief that must be acknowledged and navigated sensitively to facilitate healing and new beginnings. And in the episode, I talked about how when I was doing the counseling course, I found this. My identity was in the healthcare field. I was a first aid officer. I was a volunteer paramedic. I was a trainee enrolled nurse. I was an enrolled nurse. I was a student resident nurse. I was a registered nurse. I was a registered nurse. Then I became a student paramedic, and then I went back to registered nursing and crit care and blah, 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 blah. Goes on and on and on. When I left that for my own sanity, I did not know that it was actually an identity. I didn't realize that. And I didn't realize that grief is many different things. Grief is not just about losing somebody. Yes, it's that. But as I've said, it's, like leaving long held roles or identities can actually trigger that grief. So you may have an identity or something, and because of all your growth and that, you're leaving that behind. Please be aware that grief can happen. Now, self compassion is foundational. Recognizing the need to prioritize oneself and refuel emotionally and mentally is not selfish, but essential. Like filling a car with petrol before driving. So many people say that looking after yourself is selfish. Honestly, I really dislike the word selfish. I think it's one of those words that someone came up with to corral people into what they wanted. So just think about that. Now, boundaries in the heart chakra. As I said, I talk about boundaries a lot. Boundary setting in relationships. One-sided communication drains energy and indicates unhealthy dynamics. If you're the person that is doing all of the communication, then yeah, I'd really have a look at that relationship. Boundaries empower you to protect your emotional investment and foster balanced relationships. It is going to be hard at first setting boundaries, especially with relationships. It is going to be hard. I'm not going to gloss over it. It is going to be hard. Know that, because by knowing that and having that awareness, as you start doing it, you'll understand what's happening and you'll be able to work through it. And client nurturing through boundaries. Giving clients time and space to absorb sessions is an act of respect and deepens transformation. Clear communication boundaries safeguard the professional relationship. And what I mean by that is when I used to work one-on-one, I would, like I might have done a bit of talking, I would pause because you can't keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. The client's going to get nothing out of it. They will not get anything out of it. They need to be involved in that session. Even if it's like a healing, they may lay down on the table. They still need to get something out of it. Flexible yet firm boundaries. So maintaining boundaries isn't rigid. Staying firm while adaptable encourages resilience and openness, supporting growth in both personal and professional worlds. Boundaries in the throat chakra. Guess what I've been talking about? Boundaries as dynamic tools. So boundaries, again, are not rigid walls, but adaptable frameworks that provide safety while allowing growth and change. And this reflects real life circumstances. Faith in one's message. Believing in the validity and worth of your communication enhances its power and impact, which is essential in business success. Rest is a boundary. And recognizing that businesses, like individuals, need periods of rest to avoid burnout. And this is critical for long-term sustainability. Now, when it's not yours, how do you deal with projection in life and business? Recognizing projection through physical and emotional signals. There is always going to be signals out there telling you someone is projecting their, I will say the word, their crap onto you. Allowing the inner child to play can reinvigorate creativity and joy in work, leading to innovative solutions and a more fulfilling business experience. So allow your inner child to play. And handling projection with calm confidence. Responding calmly and naming the difference in energies shifts the focus from conflict to understanding, allowing you to maintain relationships without burnout or resentment. So think of some of the physical signs as you may feel your body tense up. That can be your body going, this is a projection. Or there might be emotional signals. You might get sad, you might get upset, or you might get angry. These are emotional signals that it could be projection. And knowing when to disengage. It is acceptable to pause or exit conversations where projection becomes too heavy. And this protects your own energy while leaving room for future dialogue. One of those things could be that you're going around and around and around in circles in that conversation. Walk away. Just walk away because it's going to get you nowhere. Or it may be another conversation where that person is really, really angry and they're projecting onto you. Walk away. It is healthy to walk away. Now, visibility in the throat chakra. This is another topic I love talking about because I'm at the end of season 4 of my podcast. This would have never happened if I hadn't done the work on my visibility. So, foundation through lower chakras, grounding your energy. So, what that means is that instead of being off in the ethers, you bring all of your energy back into your body and you send it into your lower chakras, down into the earth. And a lot of the time, I like to imagine that my feet have developed roots and they're grabbing onto that beautiful earth, maybe even stones, and hanging on. And doing the grounding via the lower chakras ensures your stability and it allows the throat chakras communication energy to flow freely and genuinely. What that means is that you're not off in the ethers and your communication comes up through the chakras and you're able to communicate. It's amazing. Now, internal versus external communication. Having the awareness of bodily signals, internal, combined with outward expression, external, provides a holistic approach to visibility. And faith and confidence actually empower visibility. So, faith in knowing your path, coupled with confidence, supports deliberate choices in how to show up publicly because it is up to you how you want to show up. It is not up to your coach or social media or anyone else out there to tell you how to show up. It's up to you. Now, this is one that I needed to learn because I needed to learn how to trust myself after years of doubting. And doubt is a learned behavior. Doubt originates from years of external conditioning where authority figures shaped our thinking, not from inherent incapability. Recognizing this reframes self-doubt as a habit to be unlearned rather than a personal flaw. It's not a flaw. Hesitation is practice. Instead of fearing hesitation or doubt, view these moments as opportunities to return to yourself, and this fosters patience and reduces anxiety over the need to be perfect. Because you remember I said there's no such thing as perfection. We are already perfect and we're just learning and learning and learning. And the power of pausing, taking a moment before speaking or reacting allows awareness to grow. And so the reaction becomes a response, which is healthier. And this helps you consciously direct your manifestations instead of unconsciously reinforcing doubt or negative outcomes. And most of the time, we want to respond, not react. Of course, if it's an emergency, we want to react. We need to react. Oh, and that's the that's the end of this beautiful episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate, and I would love for you to continue watching or go back and watch episodes you've missed out on and let me know what you think.